Hey, so today I'm very happy to have Derek on board with us. Derek, I've known him for many years, right?
Many years, I think
2017.
2017, back in another place.
Yeah, back in another place. Then we were in another agency lah. You know to bluff all of you all.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, we got along very well. But you know, as in the real estate agent's life, right?
Yep.
A lot of us are all very. It's a lonely business, and we always we try to meet up once or twice a year.
Yeah. But I think important thing, find people that's of the same vibe, you can vibe with each other. You know, we are in the same life stage. Yeah, he got 2 boys, I got 2 girls, just to share.
This one can matchmake and stuff like that.
Well, that one bo bao, must make sure my girls like your boys and vice versa.
Of course.
Yeah.
So Derek is a bit, I think he's younger than me, but he's also very qualified, and actually, in fact, he has this master's degree from NUS, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to tap on his expertise for today's session, and this will be my third podcast, and hopefully, you guys, whoever is watching, can really benefit from this, because it's really a no holds barred conversation. We don't, as you all know me, I don't like to fluff things up.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I just say what it is. Yeah. Despite other people not liking it and stuff like that, but we want you all to benefit from snippets of information by us.
Of course. Like I mentioned to Edison even before we start this, right? It's an exchange of ideas. Doesn't mean because I have this, therefore I'm definitely correct. It's really an exchange of ideas. There's a lot of what we have observed, what we have our own personal thoughts and stuff. So I think just keep an open heart, open mind. I think that's the most important part I want to share.
Okay. So I think the first topic that comes to mind today is the cooling measures. We talked about it on WhatsApp, and we think that recently Hong Kong kind of like opened up or had these cooling measures removed completely, right?
Completely removed. So it was quite. I would say it is not a surprise, because not just Hong Kong but China as well. They reversed a lot of the cooling measures that they have rolled out. So I was telling Edison, the cooling measures rolling out and removing is quite a big drastic thing. Then we were thinking, what will Singapore do, and what are some of the what is the impact that will be happening, and will we ever see such things happen, or whether it have happened before? That's why I think it will be interesting to have this conversation to talk, because me and Edison, it's not just about we are not those kind that show off our watch, show off our cars, but really when we meet up with each other, we really talk about real estate, like real conversation about real estate. I think that's the beauty of our conversations.
So using a basic logic let's say if I wasn't a real estate agent, or I'm not in this industry, when you look at real estate industry as a whole, a government comes in and remove certain restrictions to the property market. Naturally, the demand will go up If I'm not trained at all, I will just think, okay, very simple cooling measure gone, people will start buying. So I think that is likely going to be the case, right? But by how much then? For me, I'm not very familiar with the Hong Kong market. How about you? What do you think about this type of thing? When you remove cooling measure, what will happen?
I think in Hong Kong, right? I mean, sometimes it's also sentiments. I mean, Singapore, not just Singapore, but across the world, sentiments, right, plays a lot of part. It's not very different from stock market, where people are saying that it's some impulse buying, some psychological things behind it. So I think the first thing first is when government kick in with the measures, right? There is a certain level of impulsiveness, certain level of emotion, certain level of showing that there might be a change of things. So that's what I see about cooling measures And just to share also, a few weeks back I actually interviewed my professor. She's from the land of kimchi, South Korea. She was sharing with me South Korea, right, very difficult because all the lands are privately owned, because it's freehold and stuff. The government cannot do a lot of intervention work, and they are also, if you've been to Korea before, right, there's a lot of hills there, so it's very hard, especially in Seoul area. So they are very hard for them to free up lands and stuff. A lot of the lands are privately owned. So South Korea, they want to intervene, they cannot intervene.
The conglomerates, the chaebols, are controlling a lot of real estate, right? I presume.
They do, and plus the private owners as well, the men on the street. So the rich people are getting richer and stuff. So it's very hard for them to intervene and stuff. So there's a lot of incentive, a lot of things that they need to do, and they look at how Singapore model it, right? They were really looking at it with envy lah. So that is what I understand from my professor from South Korea.
Yeah.
But going back to Hong Kong and China, right? I mean, it's similar. There are similar things, but they are also very different in Hong Kong and versus like. Let's go back, bring the scope back to Singapore. So for Hong Kong, the biggest minus point, what is happening right now for the demand is this. After the China actually kick in with the National Security Act, right? That they kick in where they arrested quite a few people. A lot of Hong Kongers, in fact, I used to work in a Hong Kong company. Some of my friends, right, were thinking of leaving Hong Kong. So the demand. The organic demand, right, people who need to stay there or want to stay there actually is reducing. So that is actually their main key problem. Whereas for Singapore, right, as you know, we have 90% home ownership, about 80% stay in HDB. So Singapore, the organic demand is still I wouldn't say it's relatively strong. It is the core foundation of our housing policies, home ownership. Yeah. So yes and no also in terms of comparing Singapore and Hong Kong in terms of cooling measures and the policies, housing policies. Korea is another different thing altogether because they have no control over the land. The government have no control over the land. Yeah. So this is how I will analyze the market, not just or give my inputs. It's not just about this one, like what you say, cooling measure kick in, reverse, right? Means demand will go up, means wow, everybody should go in and chong. We really need to look at things from a very holistic standpoint.
I saw a commonality between Singapore, Hong Kong and South Korea. I think one commonality is obviously all Asian countries. Number two, I think that these three countries' birth rate falling. All developed right now,
yes, you're right.
quite wealthy, relatively speaking. These are all developed nations and very wealthy So as people's salary go up, their work stress also go up. They work more hours, and then they forget that they need to enjoy themselves, make babies, get married and stuff. They delay their marriages and then they start, So what this means is that they need foreigners to come in, right?
Yes.
And then sometimes also the foreigners come in, right? Then they find good jobs here and then they settle down. They also take up some of the real estate demand. And I think just now you mentioned about South Korea, which I also don't know the market very well. However, I do know that South Korea's real estate laws are very different from Singapore. It's completely 很 complicated one. 很 complicated. I heard before, one rental, this, that, very difficult to rent house one. So that's what I hear only. I don't have practical experience with that lah.
So you're right, South Korea, right, their rental, they call it the Jeonse system, right? They don't pay monthly rent. They actually, what they do is that they, in a nutshell, right, what they do is that they give a lump sum money, right, to the landlord, and then the landlord use the money to, put into fixed D, and put into fixed D to earn interest and grow from there. So that is how South Korea is doing it, but it created a lot of problems. There's a lot of scam. People, the land, I don't know whether you watch Korean drama or not. The scam is this: they take the landlord take all the money, right, the deposit, right, then run away, and then you cannot find the person. Then the star of the Korean drama start to cry. Then the hero come and rescue that person out. So that is also one of the plot for South Korea. But so now they're trying to do away with this, but it's like doing away with a tradition that has been kicked in, right? Since I heard that this Jeonse system has been around for many years, like even before our fathers and mothers are born, that kind of situation. So you're right, there's no uniformity, but the similarity is these all three are developed countries. Declining birth rate is one thing, and they are also very heavily on making sure that the foreigners are coming into the market. So that's where they want to ensure that, because there's two impact. If they do not kick in with a cooling measures, right, they do not intervene, you have one, the price shoot too high, locals unhappy, they don't vote for you, you lose political power. Second, the foreigners, right, they see the rental, so expensive, I might as well go to another country where the rental is cheaper. So that is the second, these two impact, I think, is something that the government is very concerned of, and they will be very wary of internally and externally. So I think that's the gist of the cooling measure. They do not want things to explode too fast, but yet they also need to calibrate the supply coming in.
Then okay, so Hong Kong removes cooling measure. Obviously, we are practicing in Singapore.
Yep.
If Singapore today remove cooling measure, it's very drastic lah.
Yep.
In my opinion, it's very drastic. What are some things you think you can guess that will happen if Singapore removes cooling measures?
I think when Singapore remove cooling measures, right, there will be certain impact as well. Like I personally, I feel that some of the cooling measures will not be changed. Like for example, TDSR, right, although it is slain as a cooling measure when it rolls out, right, but the main core of TDSR is that they want people to be able to be prudent in terms of their loan. They don't want a case whereby some issues happen or some things happen, right, then everybody suddenly, go into bankruptcy, foreclosure, no people have house to stay and stuff. Then it became a very big social problem. So I personally believe TDSR will definitely be remaining.
It's going to be a long-term thing. It's going to be a permanent thing in Singapore.
Yes.
Which we all agree, right? It's a good thing for everybody, right?
Yep, it is. But having said that, right, I believe that perhaps the TDSR, which is now at 55%, right, could at some point of time they can increase it, but I don't think they will remove it, but they can change it. Like it was previously 60%, then it dropped to 55%. So they could, reverse it in the other way. And or the litmus test, right, which is now at 4%, 4.5%, right? They can also reduce the litmus test as well.
The MAS stress test, you're talking
the stress
about.
test,
what we commonly call MAS stress test. The banks are. Okay.
So just to share also, in NUS for my diploma, my bachelor degree, right?
You diploma, no lah, diploma is me. You.
No, it doesn't matter. It's an open discussion. So my bachelor degree, I actually studied history. So just to share, right, did Singapore government have we reversed the cooling measures before? The answer is yes. So that was in 2017, 2018. It was a very, very little tweak. Edison, you know which one is it?
I cannot remember, but I know there was some tweak.
Yes.
We call it loosening measures, is it?
Yes.
They open the tap a little bit.
Yes. So the government is smart. They won't call it a stimulus package, or they say it's a reversal of cooling measure. They call it some adjustments needed for the market. So back then in 2017 or 2018, I can't remember the exact year, right? The seller stamp duty previously was being put in at 4%, and then they actually drop it from not 4%, 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. That means if you buy a property right now, right, you sell within 4 years, you will be kicked in with a seller stamp duty. But now at 2018, right, they actually reduced it to 3 years.
And
this measure is also still remaining. It's still 3 years at the moment in time. That change, right, actually stimulated the property market. A lot of the new launches are starting to move. En blocs started to happen. We have all the major big en blocs. Today we have the projects like foreign residences,
Momentum Park.
I think Momentum Park not the en bloc. Momentum Park also.
Momentum Park.
Then there is the Park Esta. I still remember Eunos Court, and then the largest condo in Singapore, Tampines Court, became treasure at Tampines, 2,000 plus square units. So that was actually a legacy of 2018 when they changed, when they did some tweak to the cooling measures lah.
Correct. You're right. Just now I had this thought about something else, but it escaped me for a bit. We were talking about cooling. We were talking about cooling measures, Hong Kong and Singapore, right? 忘记了. What did I want to say? Singapore.
Demand.
Not enough sleep today.
No worries. Can always cut this part out.
I know. You can either cut it out or we can just let it flow lah. Because diehard fans, you all will finish watching one. I know you're driving or you're on the train or what. You can listen. Because there's a lot of valuable things I can squeeze out from Derek. You see, because we meet different type of people and we talk to different type of people. He is very academically connected to all the professors. Where maybe I talk to all sorts of people along the coffee shop, kopitiam. Talk a lot of some rich men. All the guys in the 50s, 60s. Some of them they wear slipper, singlet. Wow, they got a lot of properties right? Some business owner you cannot see. You can't put two from their appearance, right? They are very wealthy and they own a lot of properties.
Yes, because I always tell people, 从前, long time ago, there's no such thing as the ABSD. yeah, I heard some people, same project, they can buy 4 or 5 units, and then yeah, they can just buy it back then. And then back then, right, there's no such thing as, okay, there's LTV. There's no such thing as TDSR as well. This TDSR, LTV thing, and this ABSD thing, right, is we are talking about recent, quite relatively recent. We're not talking about like 20年前, 30 years ago we have them. So there are people who leverage. But having said that, right, just want to add a cautious also, like 2018 when there's subprime crisis, and 1997 where we have the Asia financial crisis, right? Some
subprime
of them,
was 2008, right?
2008, yeah. And then before that we have the SARS crisis, 2002 and 2003, right? There are really people who really get burnt. Yeah, because there's no all these measures, TDSR, all these things to, you know, help them to ensure that there's a certain level of prudency. So I think, personally I feel that TDSR will remain for sure. ABSD wise, right, I am not 100% sure that will remain as well. But I will say ABSD rate, right, if you follow what has happened, it has been adjusted throughout the years. So at some point of time, will the government change the ABSD rate? I believe so. I believe so, because at 60% ABSD, right, all the foreigners were telling me, wow, that's quite crazy.
Crying, they're all crying already. Want to buy all hold back.
Yeah, either that or they really want people that is really so-called also wanting to be very invested in Singapore. So what are some of the foreigners that I spoke to, right? What are their plans is this? They hope that they are able to anchor themselves further in Singapore, and then, you know, be able to attain a PR, and then permanent residence, and then from there on, the ABSD of 5%, right, for PR, right, is something more palatable to them as compared to 60%. That's like 12 times more, man.
Exactly. It's a big difference, you know. If you buy a $2 million condo, 60% ABSD versus 5% ABSD is a world of a difference.
Precisely.
Correct. 2 million, 60% is 1.2 million. 1.2 million ABSD. Here already I want to faint.
Precisely. Yeah, but also ABSD for the second property, if let's say government need to stimulate people to buy, because ultimately, like I highlighted, if let's say nobody is buying second property, the developer decided not to, you know, develop land, or we end up like the Marina place, the bid is so low that the government decided to reject, right? If we have such problem, then we will have a supply problem. We bring in the foreign talent coming in, right? They don't have place to stay, rental is too high, and then they all decided to go other developed countries like Hong Kong or South Korea. Then it creates another problem as well. So the calibration, right, I think will be an ongoing thing. I don't think ABSD will be removed, but it will be calibrated according to situation to balance out the supply and demand moving forward. Like just now I highlight the people buying for own stay and also the foreigners coming in to rent.
Let's talk a little bit about, just now you mentioned about this Marina Bay piece of land that was rejected. The government rejected the bids, right? And the bid, how many bids were there? One only, right? Only one bid. So they rejected one bid because not competitive, ma. So this I remember, if I read it correctly, this is the first time in 13 years that the government has rejected a GLS. Based on what I remember, I really don't remember. But can you imagine? Developers themselves are not entering Marina Bay, that piece of land. Then it tells us it paints us a story, for analysts like us. We are in the market every day. It paints me a story that developers now are very cautious. They have to take care. They have to be careful. Don't over leverage or don't jump in with their eyes closed. As you know, some developers from overseas like Kingsford, they're very ambitious. They come in, bam. I want to win this land, I go and bid the one at One North, then they bid the Normanton Park, all these things that they want. They're very aggressive. But maybe it's because they are efficient in building construction. Maybe they can find lower or cheaper materials. And this is their competitive edge, lor. You know what I mean? That's personally what I feel.
I think you touch a very important point about the developer. So a lot of people, when they think about developer, they all think that all the developers are commandos. Kaka chong, everything also chong, everything also take. But developers, they are also running a business as well. So through my course of in my master's, right, I also spoke to some developers, some people working in developers. They are also very cautious about their margin. But it's also very important, their consideration is also two things. One is that they do need inventories, because most of these developers, they are listed companies. If they don't have land to develop, they will not be able to sell anything. If they are not able to sell anything, there's no profit.
No revenue at all, right?
No revenue at all. And then you hire all the engineers, you hire the project managers, they will all be shaking legs.
Yeah. Your fixed cost, right? Your labor is a fixed cost, ma.
Yeah, but secondly, they also do not want to be a commando and everything also whack because there's always risk involved. So something I also learned is this, like when I was going through these masters, I realized that a lot of the consumers or the retail investors we have, right, they are, Kaka whack one, TDSR covered already. Okay, I just go and whack, but they do not do their own risk assessments. If you really see how developer do their risk assessment, right, their portfolio, their reports, right, you realize that quite a big portion talks about risk. And perhaps the marina, right, after they calculate the risk, they calculate the potential return, the market situation, what are some of the opportunity for them to buy, right? Therefore, only one developer decided to go in. But having said that, right, there are some lands like, for example, EC plot. 7-8 people go and chiang. And then there are also some, recently there's also some GLS, right? In Tampines or Pine Grove. Also a lot of developers go for it. So sometimes I also tell people, it's not people, when people ask, hey, how's the property market? I always tell them, there's no uniformed way to see the property market. It's very fragmented, it's very segregated based on certain, place or certain market segment. Yeah, so it's no longer, if you really want me to give a full market update of the property market in Singapore, right, I think I need half an hour to share.
No, I think he can spend 3 hours talking about it. Because when you meet guys like him, right, face to face, right, the amount of things you can absorb from him, right, is really, I would say, unlimited lah. You don't know what you don't know, ma. So sometimes you don't know what to ask also. But as you talk, right, eventually these questions pop up, then we will be able to answer them for you. That's how I feel about our nature of our job, correct or not?
Yeah, but also having said that, right, a lot of people ask me about, hey, what do you predict the property market? I will say that we do not have the crystal ball, but we can really tell you what are the things that is in place, what are the things that we are seeing globally, what are the things that we are seeing on the ground as well. Like, I think a lot of people will always ask, hey, how's the demand for HDB? So on the ground, I just want to share, right, like, for example, those places that is in the so-called the standard zones, away from the MRT. Well, suddenly next door, like for example, Yishun, you read the news about yesterday, Yishun are going to build 11,000 BTOs. Those the area. So, can you imagine the resale flat in Yishun? Wow, next door, they are going to build it 11,000. They are going to build it fast. We are talking about 3.5 years. And then government also said, you want to rent, I give you grant. So there's grant. Rental voucher. So they are going to build fast, they are going to build huge amount, and they are going to build it next to your resale HDB flat. What do you think about such places? How to sell high price lah for this kind of area? But on the other end, right, the prime area where government say, oh, you want to buy this prime area, you need to do this, and then MOP 10 years. That means the next time you can buy a resale place, right, in that area, you are talking about 18年后, because their construction is also longer, they are building higher and construct. 18 years later, you have the next supply. Then sure, okay, it's very simple math lah. If demand is still high, right, everybody wants to stay near the MRT station, near Central. I would say most people, if they can. So demand is there, supply is artificially, right, because of the policy repressed. So on the ground, right, when I go and serve my buyer to go and view, wow, everybody is asking for 20-30K above COV for that kind of area. Then on the other reverse end, for the places I mentioned just now, right, wow, people are asking for below the estimated valuation. Then after that, when people see the news, right, oh, there's COV have reduced, oh, COV have increased, or so it's very hard. It's not easy to just look at the headlines, and then if you don't dive deeper into specific segments, you realize that specific segments really is very, very different. And some on our on-ground experience, because when we're on the ground, we see the transaction. You only see the transaction in the URA or the headline news, right? Maybe 2 to 3 months lag. But we are on the ground, we see, wow, the demand is quite crazy. Really, I put a listing there, da chang in for 1 or 2 weeks. So these are the things that we observe on the ground.
When the consumer, the normal man on the street, right, they read the Straits Times article about HDB resale prices or private property index, right? You are reading it 2-3 months after we experience it. We really experience it already. We start to tell our clients or tell these people, then 2-3 months later, then it comes up onto the news lah. I'm not saying that the reports are no good, but the reports are very accurate. It's very good. But then in order to get a touch or feel of the ground, right, immediately you should go to your professional real estate agent. Then they can really share with you, hey, is it really like that, or is it really like that? Their words are, I'm not saying they will know everything, but they got a better feel than you lah. That's all I can say, right now.
Yeah. So I believe that, you know, gone were the days, I will say that maybe 20 plus years ago, right? Agent's job is just to be a broker. Oh, you want to buy this, you want to do this, you want to sell this. But we really need to, you know, understand what is happening, be able to advise our clients objectively and properly. Yeah, and then from there on, they can make the decision from there. But the important thing is really, like highlighted, we really want to, the market is very segmentalized, it's very fragmented. We really need to look at individual needs and wants and individual market situation. Then we can make our, you know, we can give our advice from there.
Correct. But without meeting you all, right, sometimes I get a lot of comments on TikTok. Hey, can I do this? I'm like that. I got this salary. I'm this age. Can I do this? But this type of surface, this type of general questions, right, it's very hard to answer on the spot, to give you a one paragraph answer, because we don't know your family situation, how many kids you have, are you divorced, you got elderly parents to take care of or not. This all comes into play when we start planning for our clients, right? And we cannot just, oh, okay, your salary 10K, your age like that, okay, can I bring you go and buy new launch or go and buy Lentor Mansion. It won't make sense, and you all won't feel it's personalized, because we want to touch our clients not literally touch but really face to face, give them consultancy advice.
I think it helps also when I give my advice, right? I always give my own personal experience, what I've seen and stuff. I've seen some, they calculate their TDSR, everything, then they tell them, oh, buy near MRT better. So he really buy MRT one bedder, okay, around less than 1 mil. Yeah, he can afford. He can buy it, he can pay the down payment and stuff. Then suddenly market slow down during that period, and then he got married, want to have kids, cannot sell the house. So, or have to end up really bite the bullet, actually sell it below his purchase price. So we see this kind of thing happen, but it also helps that both of us, we are parents. So sometimes we'll give them, from our experience, right? Wow, you just have one kid. Never mind, I just need this X amount of space. There are things like, for example, toys, books. You need them, give them space to run. You need to give them space to move around. That you need to, you know, barricade them so that they don't run all around. And also important thing, there's also cost involved. Like, okay, childcare, your diapers, all these are dollars and cents. And I also tell people, you buy a car, okay, you have 3 kids. Then you need a bigger car, you might need a bigger house, you need to think about, okay, all these things in mind. So I agree with you, when we look at solutions, right, we really need to look at, you know, what's your life plan, what are things that you need. Then we calculate also, because some of them maybe husband and wife working, but their wife ideal is that when I have 2 kids already, I don't want to work or work part-time. Then income drop how?
Drop by a lot some more.
And then if you cannot exit properly, so I won't say that I go out to discourage people to buy house, to upgrade and stuff. I mean, we do accept progression, but the important thing is we want them to go in with their eyes wide open, making informed decision to know that, okay, come what may, if this happen, A, B, C, D, E happen, right? What is, if all these things happen, am I catered for? Is this risk catered for? I think that's very important. So that's how I do things. It's no longer like, hey, I have 20K, what can I buy? What should I buy? I have $2 million budget and stuff. I will ask them, how do you even derive a $2 million budget? How much loan are you planning to take? Because some people, some people they really deal 40, they deal Toto. Then they tell windfall. So they I mean, like it or not, there are such people like that.
Yes, okay.
So they say 2 million. Okay, then if they don't need money, monthly mortgage and stuff, then why not? So again, we do our best to advise accordingly but there are also some clients, I also want to buy, I don't care, I really want to buy, then we have done our part due diligence to advise them accordingly. Then it's up to them to think about it.
I remember what I wanted to say already in the beginning. Remember just now I lost my train of thought, right? Sleep. Okay, remember talk about TDSR, right? I was doing some research for a video last time, and I went to SingStat. Obviously, we know what SingStat is.
Yes.
You go to the Department of Statistics, you get all the stats of Singaporeans and how they spend their money, how much saving they have and stuff like that. IRAS or SingStat, can't remember. They said that the TDSR is 55%. Okay, today it's 55%. Last time it was 60. Even though it's 60, but the vast majority of Singaporeans who buy property or service their property loan, right, actually only use 30% of their monthly income. 30%. So 60%, yes. But actually most of them are using 30%. So what I can say is that Singaporeans generally are still very prudent. They don't go, 60% okay lah, 我去买, stretch all the way one. I know of some agents last time in PropNex, no need to bluff. Okay, last time we were in PropNex, right? Some agents were stretching their clients at 60% one. I hear before. I don't want to name names. I hear before they push. Cannot afford, never mind. You can one. Go and buy the maximum 60%. Then those people is that family of 3 or 4, right, staying in a one bedder. Wow, I see already. I'm so sad for them, you know. It's very, very sad because why the agents were targeting high com. Let's face. Let's talk about it. They were pushing it so hard. Their clients were pushed to the brim of their salaries, 60%. I see already. I just feel very. I feel upset that out there, our 同行, our colleagues, right, are doing that.
I mean, I also heard worse is that they say, you take money from your parents, or you do pledging or unpledging. You increase your amount. You stretch yourself even further and stuff. So I mean, for some cases, like I said, some people really tio 4D, tio toto, or their parents really give them a lump sum of money. Again, like I highlighted, we go with eyes wide open. But I think one thing that the four letters that I will not always want to create is FOMO, FOMO, because you know, people always have fear of missing out and stuff. So I really will want our clients to be prudent. But having said that, right, what I always tell my clients is this: if this unit maybe resale or new launch, right, if it's really good for them. The due diligence is done, calculation is done. If really 剩下一间 or this is really a good buy, right? I will have to tell them that it's a good buy. Okay, it is worth it. You are able to afford it. Really think about going for it. So there's this line that is drawn like I don't push people, I don't force people, but I need to give them an informed understanding that really 剩下这一间 really last one. And then I think this project, I do my due calculation. Okay, the developer will break it even. You know, is breaking even only, and then market is turning positively. So you should really go for it. Then I will really tell them, go for it. I
also like to do that. You equip your client with all the data to help them make the best decision for themselves. Because I don't like to pressure people. Every time I tell my clients, I'm not going to pressure you, but I'm presenting data to you. This one already last unit. Okay, and you have done your due diligence, your risk assessment done already, your TDSR, you're not 60% yet, you're 40, 35, okay. I think so far it looks okay, but to pull the trigger or not, right,
it's still you.
You go and pull. I am not going to say, hey, zole, like that. Borrow from your parents first. No lah, we don't want to do that lah. Very, what you call that? A little smaller form of unscrupulous lah. If you ask me lah. I don't like to do that lah.
But on the other extreme, right? Like just now I said, less than one unit. There are some couples, right, or some people I spoke to, right? They actually underestimated themselves. Like, actually I can do this, I can do that. With this amount. Then this is also the other extreme. One is people pushing it too hard. The other extreme is this: those people, they actually have the financial capacity. They really have the financial muscles and stuff to do more, right? Then it's also our job to also tell them that you can actually do more, but be aware there's this X amount of risk. And let's sit down and see how we can mitigate this risk. And if all the risk factor has been calculated for, then they should go ahead and consider. Because like it or not, I do feel that going through the academical routes and being on the ground, right, I do really see there are people who really enjoy very good profits, good gains from investing in property. But like I said, the most important thing is go in with your eyes wide open, mitigate the risk that you need to do. And don't just, my friend buy, I buy. My neighbor buy, I buy. Really understand what are you in for. And if things go south or when certain risks really happen or certain things happen, right? What can you do? What do you need to do? I think that's the important part. But don't say, oh yeah, property cannot. Yeah, I would say there are really a lot of good things about property. That we can really, use it to grow our wealth, build our retirement nest and stuff, but do it properly and with a very eyes wide open.
One thing I'll talk about is in my previous 2 sessions with Charlie, we realized that we had a consensus that Singaporeans are not very financially savvy because we never had financial prudence courses in our education system. Right now, all of us never learn. Right? We learn on the job or we learn through experience, life experience. Okay, so I want to ask you something. I recently made a video on TikTok, very, very hot. 250,000 people view that news. It was about government, right, reducing the down payment, right, upfront, right, for the BTO youngsters. They say that, government said, instead of booking fee, you pay 5%. Now, I reduce it by half. You only need to pay 2.5% for your down payment, booking fee in the beginning. NSF students also can apply. Okay, can So the commenters inside say, same 1 + 2 = 3, 2 + 1 = 3. They think that it's the same. They think it's the same. But inside that group of commenters, there was one smart guy. I call him smart. I don't know whether you'll call him smart or not. He said that, if you buy $1 million HDB, example, BTO next time, example 1 million, easy calculation. 5% of $1 million is 50,000. $50,000.
Yes, 50,000.
So instead of booking fee $50,000, right, now you pay only half, $25,000. So you save $25,000 in the onset. From now till key collection 3 years, for example, 3 years. So you save $25,000. If you take the $25,000, you go and invest in something. For 3 years. 1 year, smelly lah, give you 5%. 5%. So 5% of your 25K is a few $100s, I think, right now. 3 years consecutively, you are making 5% of your $25,000. You actually are better off, right? The government actually give you all the leeway now. I give 少一点. Then if I have extra cash or my parents' money or whatever, I just go invest first. I put in FD, also got 3%, right? So that is where I came to the conclusion that most Singaporeans there on TikTok are saying that it's the same, but actually it's not the same. It's completely different. There's opportunity cost because your money stuck there for 3 years versus you only put half. The other half you can go invest it. I don't care what you put in there, as long as you have done your risk assessment. You confirm very likely you make money out of it, So your thoughts there? You think it's a good policy or lousy or what?
I think we have to go back to the crux of why the government introduced this policy, because sometimes there I ever had just to share, I was in the MND Forward Singapore Housing Policy Group. So I have the chance to speak with some of the policy writers and also the Minister Desmond Lee himself. So he said that Singapore, right, when we come out with policies, right, there will be a core principle to it. But he's very aware nowadays you cannot come out with policies, right? And he also make a disclaimer: I cannot come out with policy, but everybody will be very happy. There will sure be some rough edges or some situation or certain spillover effect. But he said, as a ministry, right, if there's spillover effect, there are rough edges, right, they are prepared to do reversal as much as possible. That's why we see some of the policies that the government rolled out, right? Suddenly there's a bit of reversal happen. It's not because the government never think about it properly, but the government put it across that there are certain core principles, but when there are rough edges, we are prepared and we are willing to raise our hands to say that we are willing to adjust accordingly. So I look at this policy that was being rolled out, right? The main purpose is to ensure that, because you build house also 3.5 years. And let's say you and Singaporeans, we all need to serve NS. So by the time, let's say we go university, we graduate like 23, 24 years old, right? Wow, I need to wait for 3 years before I manage to pay the down payment, right? Then I'm 27, 28. And then by the time I wait for my BTO will come, I'm 30, close to mid 30s. And then when I have my own house, I start to want to have babies and stuff. So now that they want to tell them that, okay, now that you are in NSF, but you found the right person to want to marry already, I will talk about the rough edges later.
The key is to find the right person first before you all do all these things.
So after you find the right person, at 24 years old, 25 years old, never mind, you cannot afford to pay 20K, 30K. Okay lah, 5K 你省吃俭用 okay lah, can pay the 5K. Book a house so that you are able to get married 27, 28. You have your own house, you can have your first children at 28, 27, 28.
Yeah.
I think that is the crux of the policy. Not because government want you to, it's a reversal of cooling measure, or government want you to use your money to invest and stuff. It's to help those people to start up faster, be able to set up their family faster, to get their house faster. But the rough edges I see is this, like highlighted, the BTO effect is still true. Some of them 24 years old, they want to get married, then they go and book a BTO. But actually, let's put it that way. A lot of guys, after they come out to work, maybe things change, or at 24 years old, maybe certain idea is not firm. Then you may end up, if people all chung for BTO, then after that you have a lot of bounce out uni, because a lot of them decided not to get married after that. Yeah, the last thing you want, so there will be this social impact, whereby people just get married. Hey, I want to, because there's a 2-year timeline, 2-year timeline to book for the BTO.
Yeah, okay.
So the 2 years almost up. Like, let's go and book. But the thing is this: are they even ready to get married? Are they even ready to so-called want to look for spend the rest of their life with each other? So if they are being forced to trigger this action because of the timeline, right? Then the social problem will happen. People start to, a lot of dropout units, a lot of people divorce because they just want to get this BTO across the line. So I foresee, personally, this might be a problem. This might be an issue.
Understand. Yeah, I think people abuse it, right? They think that, this is a good policy, under 30 years old, NSF, I just borrow from my parents. You know, nowadays parents quite well to do. Daddy, I want to borrow 30K, I just want to book the BTO first. There are a lot of families out there got 30K leh. I would say that leh. Yeah. Correct or not?
Yeah lor. But the impact of breaking up, divorce, and then if let's say you really fast hand, fast leg, you get your house already, you have kids already, right? Then after that you divorce, then the kids, how all these are social problems and social impact that that they really need to work out and iron out lah. Because Singapore is like that. People, they always say people propose by saying you want to book a BTO, Now it's even now that you are NSA, now I haven't started working and haven't saved enough yet. Should we go and chung and book a BTO? Should we get married first? Then it's bringing this thing into even bigger and wider.
So I think they bring the problem earlier for some people.
Precisely.
I'm not saying all lah. Those who are not well planned, right? It may cause problems earlier.
Precisely. So I think this is something that they need to work out the rough edges and make sure that there are enough social support. Just to share, my wife also is she's a social worker, so she was telling me there are a lot of this kind. There might be this kind of situation also. We really hope that it don't increase and people get married because they really want to get married and not because I need to chung the timeline to book the BTO.
Get married for the right reason lah. Not because government encourage you, got financial incentive, then you jump in.
Precisely.
I think that's the wrong reason to get married lah.
So these are the things that they need to work out on these policies, talk to the people, educate the people and stuff, and really get them to really understand what is marriage. And let's put it that way. Do you remember when you get married, did the government or any people ask you to go for marriage counseling? Like, what do you sign up for? Nobody, right? I mean, for me and my wife, we volunteered to go for such causes, to go through such workshops. But for a lot of people, they do not know.
Don't have.
And let's put it that way. I correct me if I'm wrong. Our social studies, right? Besides, we don't really learn a lot about financing or even property, right? The last thing is, nobody really sit down and tell us how do I handle marriage life.
Correct.
It's not in our social study, leh.
Correct. Don't have adulting. These are all
adulting 101.
Nobody.
It's not part of our curriculum. If Minister Chan, if you are here hearing this, right, maybe you should consider adulting 101 course. I mean, it's true. A lot of people may suffer. They do not know how to be adulting. How to be adults properly, like houses. We are talking about cars, expenses. How do I handle expenses?
Correct.
How do I handle being a parent and stuff? Like, it's not easy. Let's put it that way. It's not easy lah. Going through that motion, you have to, I have to. It's not easy.
All kabut in the beginning right now, but we slowly got the hang of it lah.
We learn along the way. It's really, sometimes we have to go through a lot of pains and adjustments. So why not have a course to talk about parenting or adulting, or have a course incorporate it inside to talk about properties and stuff. Like how do we finance a property and stuff. Really equip the generation, because these are sensitive topics, but I still think it's important topics. Unless everybody don't want to get married or don't want to have kids,
especially when home ownership in Singapore is so high. 9 out of 10 of us will eventually own a home or are owning a home. It's very important for this as part of the curriculum. Equip the kids earlier than later, I just feel that way lah.
Of course, there are also cascading effect as well. If let's say a lot of people go and buy BTO, go for BTO, then resale flat, how will resale flat start to tank a lot? Now these are also the side effects as well. So government also, in the end, a few years back, right, before Lawrence Wong changed his portfolio and become DPM and finance minister, he actually gave a huge grant for people buying resale HDB flat. I can totally share that there will be a lot of calibration on all this policy along the way. And the rough edges, right, then the government also need to do some adjustments here and there. So this is the policies that we see on the HDB side. Even the private property sides, right? I think one thing that I feel that will almost confirm happen is this: the EC, right? The cap, the income cap right now is at 16,000. If we work backwards, right, and count, right, how many the deposits that they need, the income that they need, right, and the current price of ECs, right, I think at 16K,
unbalanced, right?
Very imbalanced. Very hard for people to maneuver. Very hard to have that for people to go in, unless they are the second timer. So for Lumina Grand, right, just to share one of the ECs in Bukit Batok, the first time buyers actually quite a bit only, not a lot. But the second
very low, is it? Very slow, very low.
Relatively,
Compared against previous years,
compared to previous years. Whereas the second timer, they are quite a bit, because those second timers are maybe people in their 30s, in their 40s, they have enough savings.
HDB upgrader, all this.
HDB upgraders, all this. So they don't want to rent a place, and the EC became popular for them. It's not a bad thing in that sense, whereby the second timer have a chance, but I believe that there will be some calibration on this. I think that this one, my personal prediction, this might happen this year.
But you think is there any other factors that is causing the take-up rate of Lumina Grand to be low? For example, people don't want to stay in Bukit Batok. Or you say, hey, don't care lah, as long as it's EC, right, regardless of location, right, sure will have people take. What do you think? Bukit Batok, is it? I don't know because I don't live in that area, but of course I've served clients over there. So over the years, as you see, even Pasir Ris, like watercolors, sea horizon, all the way to Haibian, also good take-up rate. So Lumina Grand in Bukit Batok over at the northwest side of Singapore, I would say location also plays a small part in the choice of people's decision, right, to take up the.
It does. I believe that that nobody make a decision based on just one singular factor. So location could be one thing, but my personal take is this: the MSR, because it's 30%, and then your entry price for a 3-bedder is 1 million. So then you have an income cap of 16K. So the math doesn't really add up. Definitely.
This is very funny, right?
So the math doesn't add up, which is why I feel that the change will need to happen soon. Because mathematically it has to make sense. The second thing is, of course, just to share, I stay in Seoul Acres. It's an EC in Choa Chu Kang. I do have neighbors, right? They grew up in Pasir Ris. They grew up in Yishun. Or they actually stay in the east. But when they were to look for ECs, then right, there's no ECs available in Tampines back then.
At the time,
new launch,
at the time.
or Pasir Ris. But the idea is this: we shouldn't go for BTO lah. We should or resale. It doesn't make sense for them. I mean, they did their due diligence, I believe, and then they decided that we'll relocate to Choa Chu Kang instead, and they bought Choa Chu Kang. On the other reverse, right, I've also heard people back then they bought Tampines EC because there's no other ECs in the way where they are staying. They used to stay in. I got this client. They used to stay in Bukit Timah area. They grew up in Bukit Timah area. Then they buy all the way to Tampines EC. So there are also this factor involved, but I always tell people who are buying to the other extreme end, right, is that two things you need to note lah. One is that if let's say when you have kids, right, you need secondary help, your parents or your in-laws, and any other people that can help you. That's the first thing. And secondly, right, you need to do a lot of adjustments. Yeah, because everybody is quite social.
Lifestyle.
Your social style also, like all your friends all in the West, all stay in Jurong West and stuff. Then you want to socialize, you stay in Pasir Ris, you socialize. Every time you want to socialize with them, it's a 40 minutes
You have
drive.
to go to them instead of they come to you, ma. Cannot be the majority come to you.
Precisely.
You have to go and meet them there, right?
Yeah, but for some cases, very cute. I know this friend of mine, right? She moved to Sengkang, EC in Sengkang. And then the parents-in-law moved to Sengkang.
Which EC?
River Cove.
River Cove.
Yeah, so the parent-in-law actually decided to move to Sengkang, and then all of them relocate from the west side of Singapore to Sengkang. But
okay.
At least I mean the important thing is this: there is consensus, there's help needed and stuff. Because unless your parents-in-law drive, right? They stay in the west, right? Ask them to go to Sengkang and stuff. All the emergency emergency happen like this. If let's say you need to work OT, and then the childcare center close at 7.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. How?
The childcare center cannot just hold them until 8 p.m. 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, so usually for such case, this is our own personal experience. Then we will need our parents or our in-laws to help us to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
You can imagine they drive. They need to take bus from the west side of Singapore to Sengkang. That's 1.5 hours. Then your reaction time, everything is so these are the factors that I'll highlight. But if you already know of all these things, your parents-in-law is okay, you're okay, your parents-in-law is open to move at some point of time or even stay with you. I do have friends who their parents stay with them, and then why not?
But not all families can get along well under one roof lah. It's a universal problem. Sometimes there's conflict, there's arguments, and some cannot handle well and stuff like that lah.
So they really need to go with their eyes wide open when they do such things and stuff. That's where like I said, being in our life stage, right? We are able to advise all these things. That I mean, we share our own experience. We look at the dollars and cents of our expenses per month. Then we can highlight to them, like even childcare center, we are talking about let's say childcare center, right, 650 per month. You're talking about the government ones. But if you're talking about private, it can go up to 2K. And then there's also enrichment program. Then you can't be just weekend, don't bring them out to play. Then you bring them out to play. Transport, if you don't have a car, you need to take taxi, and then they have certain requirements and stuff, or certain Grab, you need a certain requirement. Then these are costs also that based on our experience as a father, as a husband, we can share also.
Okay, jump into something technical because I had this burning question, or I want to talk about this burning topic that I feel is interesting. Land betterment charge. So last time used to be what, DC, DP and all that stuff, right? All the jargon. I don't want to get too technical, but at the same time, we also want to talk about it a little bit more. So land betterment charge is the new term created by government, URA, or the government to tax the people involved, the developers involved when they want to, like for example, top up lease or build something, right? So I recently saw this article. It says that the land betterment charges have been adjusted. Obviously, every year they will adjust 2 times. They will review and then they will adjust 2 times, right? Some of the highest adjustments was up to 8% increase, increase not decrease. Okay, so I saw, and then the analysts say that it was due to not due to some of the biggest increases was, like, I think if I'm not wrong, Jurong East, where Jaden is, and then the other one of the bigger adjustments was residential landed houses. Also 8% is a big increase. I don't know if I've seen 8% increases before, but to me it sounds like 8% is very expensive or very, very high. So what do you think? Does this 8% increase of LBC, right, will the developers or housing developers, will they transfer that increasing cost to the consumer or the people who are going to buy and stay in there?
I think there are 2 ways to see this land betterment charge. Firstly, the land betterment charge will only be impacted, right, if there's en bloc. If you are not like topping up the lease, or you are not increasing the usage of the place, right? There's no
freehold, no need, right? Freehold, you don't have to pay LBC, right?
Don't need pay
freehold en bloc also no need, because you know you top up lease,
no need. So that's the first thing, impact. And secondly, right, they want to do these thing changes, right, to reflect the market situation. So you realize that these places, right, why there's always a how to put it, there is always an impact, right, from when government say I want to do transformation of that place, okay, I'm going to do a lot of things in the land and stuff. So they want to make sure that all these things are preemptive. Yeah, when they go up to 8%, right? Of course, the developer will also take into account their costs, their impact.
They'll calculate first.
They will calculate accordingly. And like I say, it has to make sense firstly for the developer. You also have to make sense to the market as well. So if the market decided not to react negatively to the price, right, then it may not happen. But we all see Jayden is like, wow. Yeah, so government, because we see that the government is putting in resources on the land. Because you like it or not, right, what I shared with my professor, what we have discussed with my professor is this, South Korea, right, they have no control over land. They don't have, land is not an asset for the government, but land for Singapore government is an asset. It goes into the reserve. We use the money to churn out and stuff. So the government is also very concerned, like they do not want to sell cheap. That's why they can reject. And secondly, right, if I'm going to spend money on this area to better the place, like Jurong, I'm going to do the Jurong Lake District and stuff, then everybody who really wants to be part of this project will have to pay their dues. So the developer will have to pay their dues, the consumer also have to pay the dues. But important thing is if the developer feel that hey, it doesn't make sense to go for this land or not worth it to pay for this, then they will say nobody will bid like for the marina one, and the government will feel that hey, I don't think this is worth this bid is good enough. They will say no lah, so things will not happen. Same goes for consumer. If you feel that this price is crazy, I cannot accept this, then the onus is on the developer to work on their costs already. So it's a supply demand, it's sentiments. There's a lot of stakeholders into this pot lah, in Singapore especially. Which is a good thing, because like I said, South Korea, the government want to play a part, cannot. They really need to chochok the conglomerates, they need to chochok the private owners, which is not an easy task. They were telling me, wow, Derek, it's not easy. I have a conversation with some of them. They say it's not easy for them. But they always look at Singapore, government, you just want to say, okay, I take back the Land Acquisition Act, take back.
Just the Acquisition Act.
Okay. Take back. Can. You don't want to sell, you want to buy cheap, cannot, don't sell to you. You want to change cooling measure, okay, I change cooling measure. I want to change ABS, I change ABS. They admire the Singapore government firstly to be able to have all this policy in place, and secondly, they admire Singapore government to be able to do this.
Understand. Okay, so then next question is, last year I did a video about.
You did a lot of video, so I don't know which video.
No, you don't have to know the video. I'm going to share you what I thought about it. So this fella or this commenter asked me, hey, Bedok is such a lousy location. I think I was talking about Sky Eden. The Bedok Central, that one. Okay. Then comparing against Lentor Modern, if I'm not wrong. So then the person will say, hey, Lentor so ulu, I prefer Bedok lah. This is all personal opinion, right? Yeah. So then the thing is, okay, in order to see which one is more valuable, is there something tangible or something calculable can be calculated to present which one is more valuable? Then I say, hey, okay, you look at the LBC of Lentor sector. I don't know what number lah. 100 over sectors, cannot remember, right? Okay, and then you look at the LBC charge of Bedok Central. That's two sectors. Then you see, I forgot which one more expensive. Sorry. I think Lentor was higher. They already jacked it up already before they developed. I think Lentor area, which is Lentor Modern, the first project. So the answer for the layman or for myself, which is I see LBC as a gauge, right? The government's current sentiment of how valuable this sector is head to head law. That's how I see it lah. Then you will see Orchard Road, that Orchard Ion sector, how much. You see this side how much, that side how much ma. So that's a very good way or indication of how we can say which side is more valuable.
That is, I won't say that, how to put it, academically so far we don't really use LBC as a gauge of what is happening. But like I mentioned, right, there is a lot of impact on a lot of things. Like today, if I were to have 2,000, let's say for example, if I have 2,000 households staying in this area, okay, if you play SimCity before, I don't know about some of the younger users, you all play SimCity, right? You have 2,000 plus people over there. You will need what? Clinic. You make sure that there's police force is there to uphold justice and do the policing and stuff. You need to make sure that there's childcare center. You need to make sure that there's road for them. There is infrastructure, like for example, a bus. Yeah, then you also need to involve like, oh, you need to build town center, you need to build neighborhood centers, you need to make sure that you need to get childcare centers over there, you need to get all these things. So I would say the land, when the government decided to sell a land, right, I mean, at least the plus point is for Singapore government, right? It's like SimCity, they need to look at the totality. Okay, do I need to start another JC here? Do I need to start a primary school here? Do I need to shift, like for example, Yusof Ishak Secondary School was used to be at Bukit Batok. And then now they shift them to Punggol. Do I need to shift secondary school? Do I need to set up primary school? Do I need to close some primary school? Do I need to adjust resources and stuff?
Yeah.
So Lentor Modern, right? Lentor, not just Lentor Modern, the Lentor area, right, will have this kind of major changes. So government wants the developer to also say, yeah, you want to play a part in this. We also need to invest money into that area, So we all it's like we pool our money together. So I see it as such. Whereas for Bedok, right, everything is very established. You want MRT station, got MRT station. You want swimming pool, got swimming pool. Okay, then they will do the calculation. Okay, I have this Sky Eden here. Okay, I no need to purposely build another
police station,
everything. I do not need all these things. All these things are already there. Okay, I calculate. They will do their calculation. Firstly, they will need to do a traffic assessment, making sure that it doesn't cause traffic jam and stuff. Okay, so if I just have around 200 units or 200 households coming into this area, yes, the current infrastructure can support. I do not need to, as a government or as a town council, I do not need to cough in all the money to do all these things. So the Land Betterment Act and the background of all these things, right, is as such. Yeah. So it's not just about, so if today, right, suddenly government say, I can't think of a nicer place lah. I want to transform Lim Chu Kang. I want to build housing area over there. You will see that because Lim Chu Kang, the land betterment will be quite low. You will see that one day they will increase because again the same thing. I need to spend money on infrastructure, making sure that it's like your SimCity, making sure that I have all the relevant things. The last thing you want, you have a fire, then nobody put out a fire. Then also hospital, polyclinic, all these things. And this kind of infrastructure, we are not talking about 1 million, 2 million. It's a few $100 million involved. And buildings, unfortunately, like SimCity, you press 2 buttons, boom, the thing come out. It will take like 3 to 5 years to build. You need to hire the people, you need to have the structure. Like for example, the Woodlands General Hospital, they already hire the people, but they need to house them somewhere. So some of them are
my brother works there, so they have been working in other hospitals for years already. Until this year, early this year, then they started to work there. Station there. Many years.
So to the layman, a lot of laymen is build house, build, but there's a lot of
so much things behind the scenes.
The URA have to make sure that all these things are supported. The town council have to make sure that they have to have all these things. And from the health standpoint, right, they need to make sure that they have enough doctors, nurses. They need to hire, prepare them so that when all these hospitals is okay, right, they are able to port over. That's why talking about South Korea, I don't know if you read about the news. The doctors are on strike. So these are the things that the government also need to play a part. But just to highlight, I'm not from PAP. I'm not like vote for PAP, must vote for PAP that kind. But I do feel that there's a lot of consideration that's involved, and it really needs everything to connect in order to get things moving. Because you do not want everybody move to Lentor, then after that got fire, nobody get put out. Then got crime, and nobody and stuff. So these are all these things that is involved lah.
So you are a PAP member or you're not a PAP member?
No, I'm not a PAP.
Okay. $1 million question. Okay. I was thinking about it. Okay. So as you know, we make a lot of videos online and a lot of commenters as well. Today's BTO prices, we all know lah, we see lah. Ang Mo Kio, I saw Ang Mo Kio 5-room flat. BTO 860,000 for 5-room, high floor lah. At Ang Mo Kio Central, AMK Weave lah, I think. $1 million question to you is do you think HDB is unaffordable? Is affordable, not affordable, or just nice today? A lot of people say, wow, so expensive, crazy, all people all that stuff. So what do you say? What do you have to say to them? Right.
I will feel that, official stand from HDB is this. I mean, I have helped people write paper for appeal case and stuff. Some of the answers I get from HDB, right, which also reflects their POVs, their point of view, and also their policies is this. okay, if you are not able to qualify for this area or this particular scheme, how about would you like to consider other places? Would you like to consider, instead of 5 room, are you okay to go for 4 room? Instead of core central, are you able to do this? So the government want to give you more choices, more choices to go around and stuff. So government policy, right? Okay, this is from the horse's mouth. Home ownership and having a stake in the country, right, by only owning a property, right? This policy hasn't changed. It's still that policy. So I won't say by hook or by crook, but the government want to do 3 things. One is to make sure that there are options for people. Second, they want to make sure that affordability is still within their calculation. And thirdly, right, if you really cannot go for this thing, they'll tell you they want to give you options. To maneuver, or even the ECs also. They can say, it's under the EC is actually parked under HDB scheme. We call it the public-private, collaboration, which is actually a very successful model, if you ask me.
It is a very successful model.
So they are trying to make sure that HDB is trying to make sure that we have options for you to go for it. And then from Desmond Lee, right, he was saying that why they come out with the prime location thing, the PLH thing, is to make sure that the location, Queenstown, won't just be a rich man place. Wow, all the $1 million people, all the rich people go there. So they also want to make sure that they are also set aside for the lower middle income people to go in. So these three policies, right, for HDB, for housing policy, one, affordability, people having a stake in the country. That's one. Secondly, affordability. Again, affordability is very subjective. Some people, like say, they can afford a $1 million. They can actually afford a $1 million HDB, right? They can actually also buy a condo. But if they buy a condo, they maybe, instead of staying in $1 million, maybe near Central, right, they need to buy a condo in Choa Chu Kang or Jurong West.
Correct.
Then they have options. Affordability, they give them that option. And thirdly, social integration. We don't have a gentrification issue. We do not have this place is full of certain races or certain religions and stuff. There's a lot of nitty-gritty things, like just now I mentioned, talk about Lentor, right? They also need to make sure that there's a certain quota of certain races there. They also need to have a certain quota of certain sites, right, that set aside for a certain religious purpose or needs across the different boards. So there's a lot of things, but I would say, if I were to just summarize into the housing policies right now, till or at least for the next 5 to 10 years, these are the 3 key crux of it.
Understand. I also think so. I mean, if you all think that HDB getting more expensive, but got cheap ones, ma. I mean, you cannot say I want PNE,
I want good, I want cheap, I want near, I want fast, I want this, I want this.
You cannot go to HDB and say, I want Ang Mo Kio Central, that 5-room flat top floor, I want 300k. Impossible, because that is not realistic. Because there are people out there who can afford to buy an $860,000 BTO. Maybe they Toto. You cannot blame them, because this is their luck. You know what I mean? Or maybe they have rich parents. You cannot be putting HDB in a this type of position, right? And then keep pummeling them with this type of comments, because they need to cater for a wide spectrum of income levels, age, race, whatever, demographics, right?
Different demographics and stuff. So really, end of the day, we give you options. You don't like your options, then you either work it out, or you go and find a higher paying job, or I mean there are things that you can maneuver and change, but you cannot I want PNE, I want near, I want good, I want fast, I want top quality. I mean, there are things that there are certain limits that the government can do, because if everybody want top quality, then who will stay in the rest of the place? I was quite amazed that the government is able to build 11,000 HDB flat in Yishun.
Correct. I think that's quite amazing.
And there are also some people, they will do shift also as well. Some people, they used to stay in Queenstown or stay in Clementi. They feel that it's getting a bit more expensive and stuff. They will say, I don't mind, I can shift to Choa Chu Kang or Bukit Batok. Okay like social gathering, Bukit Batok to Choa Chu Kang to Queenstown, Clementi. At least it's not like Pasir Ris to Jurong West. So there are some people who will make this kind of choice. End of the day, we are given certain choices that we want. But I always tell all my clients is this, like we as advisors, right, we help you to buy property, we help you to sell property, we help you to move into your real estate and stuff, right? But it is your responsibility to first do the trigger, Second thing, right, it is your own responsibility, right, to want to make this house a home. When you talk about home, right, yeah, you have family ties, you're close with your family, you spend time with them. And thirdly, right, you need to know all the implications of, you know, your decisions, like, oh, will this create certain problems and stuff, but you also need to put an eye also, you also need to think about your retirement, because how you want to retire. So property can be a good hedge against inflation, can be a good vehicle to help you to retire as well. Yeah, you cannot say, oh, because Derek say must be affordable, I don't want to take any risk at all, everything all don't want to do, then I just comfortably do this. But if you really have the propensity, you have the financial muscle, or you really till 40, don't spend your 40, go and buy all the
nice car, buy Chanel bag, all this stuff lah.
Yeah, if you have all these things, right, and you have the financial means and stuff, why not consider it? Because you're building up something, not just for yourself. I always tell people, like, if even my parents also say the same thing. If they can retire well, I can retire well, right? Yeah. It's actually good for my children. They do not need to worry about me. They can use their resources and their money, right, to spend on their kids,
on themselves
also
their
kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not a wrong. So planning for retirement is not something that it should really be in considerations and stuff. Again, like I said, knowledge is out there. Okay, you can gain knowledge, but it's also important to keep an open heart, open mind. To speak to different people, understand what they are doing. Understand the fact, know your risk, and then why not? So
gotta talk to more people, because people, a lot of you all, right, I mean, you congregate among yourself, and then let's say if you are of a certain income level, and then you all complain together, hey, why my salary so low? Then you need to open up yourself and then, you know, go and see other people, how they are doing also. See the higher income earners and see lower than you income earners. What are they doing? You know, then the commenters a lot on YouTube, let's say, or Facebook or TikTok, let's say, hey, don't burden yourself, don't take big loan and stuff like that. It's a yes and no answer, right? I mean, today, where got people buy property never take loan one, unless you're very, very wealthy. Even if you're 40, even if you're very, very wealthy, you ask yourself, those people who buy GCB, for example, 10, 20, 30 million dollar, you think they never take loan, man? They leverage, ma.
Yeah, it's about leverage and cash flow.
They also leverage what? Why would I, as a rich man, I got 30 million, I will take the 30 million and all put in one house? No, I would diversify it, right? Some investments do better than others. This one is up to you. I don't know. But you don't take all your eggs and throw into one basket, and then you got no other spare bullet, right, to do other things. Even the rich also know it. So if you all don't dare to take loan, then how will you achieve the financial freedom or the dream that you want to live? Which is getting your nest egg settled, your retirement nest egg settled, right?
Precisely. Because some people always say, it's the responsibility of the government to. But I would say that if you are able to retire properly, retire well, like I say, I see that it's beneficial for not just for yourself, but it's beneficial for your family, for your kids, especially next time when they need to have their own things and stuff. So do it properly, do it prudently, and understand the cash flow and stuff. It's important to learn all these things, but you discern properly, but you need to first have an open mind first. If you're not even open mind, all these agents just want to sell me house only lah. All the agents
all salesmen
like that and stuff. But of course, we don't want to go to extreme. TDSR max out, then borrow money from family, friends and stuff, and then after that, everybody, five people squeeze one room flat. We also don't want to go into that extreme. But if there are certain channels or certain ways or certain change of perception, why not? You know, give yourself, understand all these things, and then decide from there.
Okay, I got another question. I always have burning questions because I only see you once or twice a year, right? Not much lah.
Okay.
Every time we see each other, we spend a lot of time together. Today is no exception. Okay, so now the next question is this. Bishan HDB flats. EM's EA. 1.2 million to 1.5 million dollars. 30 years old already. They are about 30 years old. Do you think they have any future or not in terms of maybe, let's say, price appreciation? Will they retain their value long term? Any thoughts about that?
I think just to be very open, right? I did serve some clients to buy into Bishan HDB flat. But I always tell them three things. One, government policies, right, for all these things are like government did say SIRS and VERS and stuff. All these are not firm yet. That is for sure. The policy can change today, can also change tomorrow.
Correct.
We do not know what will happen.
Correct.
But secondly, right, if you ask yourself your family needs, okay? some of them, why they decide to buy back Bishan at that kind of price and stuff is one, they really grew up here. The family support is here. Everybody is here. They grew up here. Their family is here and stuff. They really need the space. And like, or they are alumni of the schools like Catholic High and stuff, or Patron. Yeah, they are alumni is here. They Patron or Bishan Bukit Batok lah. So you can't ask them.
Toa Payoh or not Bukit Batok? Bishan Toa Payoh, is it?
Yeah, Bishan Toa Payoh. You can't ask them to stay in Bukit Batok, right, or stay in Pasir Ris, right, then put their kids over there. So there are these reasons also. And thirdly, I also highlight to them, okay, if really worst case scenario, right? Okay, let's say the value doesn't hold. Government policy is not favorable for you. Your worst case scenario is you rent out this place, then you rent another place, rent another smaller place, or you do lease buyback scheme or whatever, not right? Okay, if you are these are the options that's there. Are you now knowing that these are the your current needs, right? Or in Chinese they call it 刚需, your immediate needs, right? Is there? Okay. Buying 1 million or 1.2 million, right, is something that you can afford. You pay this, you have spare. Because they want to buy Bishan, I tell them you want to buy a 3-room condo, right, at least 2 million. Yeah, so they say, wow, 2 million cannot, but 1.2 million HDB flat, I calculate, okay, can. I still have spare. I won't be like, wow, I need to eat the grass downstairs. Well, I say, okay, then you know that, okay, this might happen, because I cannot predict that government policy will change in certain ways or what. But I can tell them, okay, the lease will run until here. If you need to retire, right, you rent this place out, maybe you rent this X amount, you can take this money, you can rent another place. These are your potential retirement ideas or plans. Are you okay with it? And yeah, I can fly with it, I'm okay with it. Then yeah, why not?
You know, the funniest thing is when they decide to do that, right, then 200k renovation. They could renovate the house for 100, 200,000. I see, to be honest, I mean, we all see a lot already. Oh, okay, this place so beautiful. I want to make it my dream home. I want to stay there forever. Then they throw in 100, 200,000 just to remodel the whole house. 5 years later, hand itchy, backside itchy. 5 years later, Edison, I think I want to sell already. Then where is the financial prudence in that, right? Then the thing is, I always ask my client, okay, Ken, you can buy HDB, no problem. Your needs is there, right? But then your opportunity cost is, do you have anything to hedge against inflation or not? Because as private property owner, you and me, okay, we are not rich, but we know we need to hedge inflation. We need to do something about it. So if you if you choose to go that route, to buy a resale HDB flat that is old, you better know how to invest your money elsewhere. Because you don't have a chance to go and buy private property for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Very dangerous, in my opinion. I lay out this warning, gentle warning to my clients before they enter into this specific segment, right? Dangerous, ma. I just feel you got to hedge against inflation.
I mean, I also seen, like what Edison say, when we want, end of the day, right, maybe they buy HDB, they buy condo, they buy landed. I always tell them, go with your eyes wide open. That my job is to open your eyes, let you know the different options, then you make your choice. But I also seen before those days, they go and buy the 1.2 million HDB. I mean, these are very positive and I'm happy for them. They say, oh, Derek, I have a very good pay rise. My wife also, suddenly got promoted, 3 promotion, 4 promotion. I also have 3 or 4 promotion. Then you till 4D. They say, okay, 1 point.
This is the best.
So okay, I'm still happy. I still can upgrade. Can you help us to sell and stuff? So why not? The only tricky part is now going back to prime HDB areas, right? A lot of the people, why the supply is also low, because if you're so used to staying in the close to CBD area, so used to MRT station, some of them really, they touch their heart, they close their eyes, they think and they dream, then they realize that, hey, I cannot accept to move out of MRT station, move out of central area. What they do is this, they just stay put. So when they stay put, they don't sell, right? Then it became a supply issue again.
Correct. So people cannot take over, they're holding onto the supply lah.
So if there's one thing, I will feel that prime land area, right, prime land housing, right, if you're really targeting those places, you need to know the supply is really low, because those people, they want to move, they want to continue to stay there, right, they can't. Then those people who wants to really triple promotion, 4 promotion, and then they want to continue to stay in that area. They need to know that maybe they buy the HDB is 1.2 mil, they want to buy a condo around that area, maybe it's 2.5 to 3 mil there about, right?
Yeah.
Wow, how many of them can do that? To have promotion, then windfall and stuff. So therefore, I always feel that supply is over there will really be suppressed lah. So maybe someday government will kick in with another policy just to help that side. We do not know. Really do not know. But the government have all the stats and stuff to ensure that there will be. It will not go sky high, but it will not go low. But I always tell people, 你有刚需嘛, you really have immediate need. You cannot be homeless. You need a place to buy. You need a place to stay. You need to grow your family. Then how?
Correct lor. Correct lor. So for you all, if you all are first-time homeowners, you're all young, getting prepared to get married, want to have children. Like me also, my 刚需 that time was a HDB flat. I went to buy. Then I went in. That time I wasn't in the industry yet. I bought already. After that, when I sold it, I lost money. So these are things that can happen to yourself as well. Even for me, it happened to me. So I also tell my story to my clients. I say, hey, open your eyes, see, listen to your agent first. Listen, don't close your ears up. People have bought HDB and have lost money. It can be accrued interest kill you, or it can be over the years the flat age and then depreciate. Both can happen. Both of these options can happen to you.
And don't overly so too extreme. I always say government policy can change, right? But don't overly. I have some people that says that government won't let it go into zero. Government will come out with something to save me. So two things to see. One is that you shouldn't bank too much overly on government policy, but also be clear that government policy can and will change through the years. You just
for the better or worse also, right? I mean, it can go both ways. Policy can change.
So really go with your eyes wide open. Go with understand what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen, and then take it as you really need to know your options clearly before you execute and stuff. That's why I think. Me and Edison is a lie lah. We do not just believe in go buy this good. We do not have a project in mind to sell to you all, or you must buy new launch and stuff. But we really want to based on our experience, our personal experience, what we have seen from our clients, what we have known from our academical background. Edison also studied real estate as well, to really be able to equip our consumers and our clients with the right understanding, right knowledge, and then they can go in with their eyes wide open also. Not all. I would say not all agents are going there just want to earn your quick bucks and zao lah. I mean, not all are like that.
But got got some are like that.
I mean, I feel that at least for both of us, we are not. We will do our best to help our clients make the right decision. But having said that, it's also true that whatever we do or whatever not, there will be some clients who say, we didn't do our good job and stuff. We'll definitely want to do our best as much as we can. Then again, the decision will have to end with the client, because there are some clients who say, I don't believe in that. I don't believe what you say. Then after that, 2-3 months later, they realize, what we have shared really come to pass, right? Then we also cannot. You see lah, 你没有听我的话啦. We cannot do that also. Then we have to just ask them, okay, now that you see the situation really unfold this way, right? Are you okay to, like I said, don't go for close city fringe area near MRT. Are you willing to go further? Are you okay to accept smaller? Are you ready to accept older? So again, the policy, you still have options there. Even those really don't have really very low income, right? They really still have the chance to even own a home. They can get the grants and stuff. So there's options out there. It's really, what do you prefer? What is affordable for you? What can work for you lah? I think that's important.
I see the grants, the amount of grants that the government is giving over the years. It's getting more and more for a certain certain segment of people. Then I'm thinking, why are those people complaining? During my time, don't have such grants. I got married late, so I also didn't qualify. So, but for those people who qualify, go and take. I just feel, hey, Kaka, go and take government grants first. It's meant to help you. Don't say don't take.
But again, I always tell the other extreme. I have some clients, right? They say, I cannot qualify for grant. Why like that? I say, it's good. You are being blessed with such a high income that you cannot qualify for the grant.
Why are you complaining when you are the blessed one? You know what I mean? You work hard, you deserve it. You should find yourself very blessed also.
Yeah, so sometimes also I also tell some clients lah. Sometimes you also need to learn to be contented. Like I said, you can stay in, even if you stay in the house in, let's say next time Lim Chu Kang next to the farm or next to the cemetery, right? If you and your family is tight, you spend time with your family, you are happy, you're not very stressful and stuff, you will still be happy, right? Or I put you at Pulau Ubin also can. Your family, you make it your home, right? That's very important. I put you in Sentosa GCB, you stay in the GCB, you stay alone, you're not happy, you're not healthy, you don't have good family ties, you stay in the GCB,
you're miserable, You're a miserable person, right?
Yeah. So sometimes I also tell some clients, okay, now that you make this choice already, don't go and think so much already. Just learn to really, be mindful of, like what you want to do, enjoy your life, spend time with your family, and then when it happens, it happens. Because some people, they overthink things also. They also have. Yeah.
Correct.
So why not?
Yep. Okay. I think we have spent almost an hour or more.
Wow.
Yeah. And so maybe share with the audience, right, how to find you. Which kind of platforms are you online? How to search for you?
I think agents very easy to find us. You just search. You just very easy to find agent. My name is Derek Ng, DEREKNG. You will see me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I even have a website, propertylifestage.com, which is really reflecting on what I want to do, because it's not about buying property to earn or to make a lot of money, but to really know how property can help you at different life stage. And how at different life stage, right, you can use property, you have a clear understanding of property. It's not just about I buy to earn money, but really understand how it is relevant to your life stage. And at different life stage, where should you look for, what can you look for? It's really very consultative kind of approach. So you want to find me very easy. So many platforms you can find me, DEREKNG. If you cannot find me, something is wrong. I feel
then your strategy, your online marketing strategy is wrong already.
Can't be.
Cannot find you.
Like TikTok, Facebook, you go and search Property Guru and stuff. But if you really want, my number is 97839654. But of course, Edison, you also very easy to find Edison also. DM him, YouTube, call him and stuff. I mean, no right or wrong. I mean, both of us, we are agents. We don't see each other as competitor in that sense, because we know that there are certain groups that people will have certain preference and stuff. But the important thing is, what I can share is this: both of us, we are aligned in terms of what we want to share, how we want to consult our clients, our value system. There is certain form of alignment. So either, why not?
Okay.
Yep.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.